Hey, welcome back, Eagles. This is week 9, lesson 1. It's the only lesson for this week. This week, we're talking about order of operations with multiple groupings. So before we get started, make sure that you have your guided notes ready, either on your HyperDoc or a printed version, and we're going to go ahead and get started. So in the previous video, at the framing the lesson video, they were discussing gems, which is what we used in class to help us remember the rules for order of operations. So I'm just going to rewrite that here just so that we can have that in mind as we're working on these two examples. So the G in gems stands for groupings. We always take care of our groupings first. So I'm going to write that there. The E stands for exponents. Now, we don't have to worry about this now in 5th grade. However, in 6th grade, you will definitely have exponents in your order of operations problems. The next step that we do is either multiplication or division. Now, we do whichever comes first in order from left to right. So multiplication or division could come first, just depending on which one we see first, going in order from left to right. All right. And then lastly, we do either subtraction or addition. Subtraction or addition, just depending on which one that we see first, going from left to right. With these rules in mind, let's go ahead and get started on our first problem for today. So we have problem A, and you'll notice with this example, we have more than one grouping. Remember, today we're talking about multiple groupings. So for this problem, we have 2 sets of parentheses. So we've got a group that's 6 times 2, and then we have another group with 40 minus 4 times 5. Now, we need to take care of those groupings first before we can start doing anything else when we're evaluating this expression. So we're going to first start off with rewriting this expression. So I have it rewritten just like this. And our gems tells us that we take care of groupings first. So that's our first step. So before I can add and subtract and all that good stuff, I'm going to take care of what's in my groups inside of my parentheses first. So we're going to start with the first grouping. 6 times 2, what's that? Yep, 12. So I'm going to rewrite this expression now. And then when I look inside of my parentheses for this second grouping, I see that I have 40 minus 4 times 5. Well, I have to think about my order of operations. 4 times 5, multiplication has more power than subtraction, so we're going to do that first. So I'm going to rewrite this as 40 minus, and then we're going to evaluate 4 times 5. That is, 20. So clearly we have not finished with this grouping, so we have to finish with the evaluating what's inside of the grouping first before we can move outside of the parentheses. So now we're doing 40 minus 20. You're right, that gives us 20. I'm going to rewrite the expression now, just bringing down everything that was on the outside of the parentheses. So we haven't touched anything outside of the parentheses. We just evaluated was on the inside. Now we're ready to start. I've got 12 plus 8 minus 20. We're finished with all of the groupings. So now we can move on to, we just see addition and subtraction. We have to do what we see first. So addition comes first. So that's the one we're going to do first. So we have 12 plus 8. That gives us 20. And now I'm going to just bring down everything else, which is the minus sign and the 20. So now I have 20 minus 20. We're ready for subtraction. That gives us, a difference of 0. So our final answer for this particular problem, problem A, is going to be 0. So we just finished evaluating the first problem. We're going to go ahead and move on to the second one. Let me zoom out a little bit here. So the second problem, problem B, is, so now we have brackets. Brackets 2 times, and then inside of parentheses, 4 divided by 7, close parentheses, close brackets, minus 3. So we've got a lot going on in this problem. Let's go ahead and dissect. Once again, we've got 2 groupings, multiple groupings. So we've got like a group within a group. Well, our grouping rules say that we start inside and then move out. So we're going to start with the innermost grouping. So we're going to start with 14 divided by 7. Let me rewrite our problem so that we can work this out. So I've got brackets, 2 times, parentheses, 14 divided by 7, close parentheses, close brackets, minus 3. Once again, we're going to start with that innermost group. So we're starting with 14 divided by 7. That's within the parentheses inside the brackets. 14 divided by 7 gives us, 2. Now we bring down that multiplication sign and this 2. We have to continue with the brackets. The parentheses can disappear because we've already evaluated what was inside of the parentheses. But our brackets have to stay because we have not finished evaluating what everything inside of the brackets. And of course, we have to bring down whatever's on the outside. So let's continue. We can't remove the brackets until after we evaluate what's inside. We've got 2 times 2. That gives us, 4. Now that we've evaluated everything inside of the brackets, those brackets can disappear. And we can just bring down the minus or the subtraction symbol and the number 3. So now we have 4 minus 3. That gives us a difference of 1. So our final answer for this problem, for problem B, is 1. I hope this was helpful. Use what you learned to go ahead and work on the problem set and then master the exit ticket. I'll talk to you all later. Bye.